All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of What's What BR. Today we've got two special guests coming to us that are part of the committee for the Mother Son Dance that's happening with the Children's Hospital. We have Sarah and Stephanie. How are you?
Good.
Great. Good
Thanks for
morning.
having
Thanks.
us.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, it is, we've got pretty decent weather today. There's a lot going on, starting out a week. We're on a Monday for anybody, depending on when you're watching. But you guys are sitting on the committee, as I said, for the Mother Son Dance that benefits a couple different, people, hospitals, but it's run underneath the Children's Hospital. So, Sarah, can you give me what is the Mother Son Dance and how, you know, and then maybe Stephanie kind of give us a little bit about what's the difference and why we have a children's hospital versus a regular hospital.
Yes, I would love to. So the Mother Son Dance has been just a local event that we've had in our community for years. And it's one of my most favorite events because we get to attend it with our boys and just enjoy the night and dance the night away. The event is even more amazing because it benefits our local children's hospital, specifically the Child Life Services. But unfortunately, due to 2020 pretty much being canceled, we've had to, think outside the box and how we can still have the event, but keep it within safe restrictions. So we've decided to make the Mother Son Dance to go this year, which means we're basically going to bring it to you and you can enjoy a fun night or a fun week with your son or sons or nephews or cousins or whoever your favorite boy is in your life. You're able to enjoy it in your home with a box full of amazing events and just fun little themes that you can do with your son at home.
That's awesome. Well, so real quick before Stephanie, what run me through, you've been on this committee now, it seems like keeping up with things. So you've got a little bit, what is the point, if you drive down Essen, for anybody who hasn't been in a bubble, if you drive in, you got an emergency, on your right for regular, then you got a children's emergency to the left, depending on, I guess, the way you're coming. What's the difference? Is there, why go to one versus the other? People ask. I've had.
Well, the Children's Hospital is specifically for the children. They don't, do any services to the adults. So, I mean, I don't know how else to say it. It's specifically for children and it's catered to all the children and their needs and emergencies. So, yes, if I have an emergency and I have a child, I would not go to Our Lady of the Lake. I'd go to the Children's Hospital, which is just across the street. All the doctors are specialized in them. And then, like Sarah said, they have child life services catered to making the children comfortable. And yeah, pretty much.
So, well, it's kind of leading you, into one of those on the child life services side of things. That, from what I understand, there is not a child life services over at the regular hospital, and this is where this dance really benefits. The proceeds are going, from what I understand, to child life services. So, somebody want to fill me in on, kind of what the child life services are and what makes them different?
Yeah, I mean, I think Child Life Services is basically they cater specifically to our children in our community and whoever enters the hospital. Their whole goal is to make that child feel comfortable and safe, and they break things down in a language that a child can understand. So, if an adult's hospital, say we use the word tourniquet, a kid has no idea what a tourniquet is, so they'll walk in and explain it to the kid as it's just a really large rubber band. They will stay in the room with the child throughout a difficult procedure to make them feel comfortable. They will escort a child to the child's playroom. If a child is not allowed to go into that playroom, they'll actually bring in toys for the child specifically. And not only that, Child Life Services do, I know we've all seen on social media, the no more chemo parties. They can do specifically child birthday parties. So, I mean, there's just so many things that Child Life Services do for our community and our children that I don't think any of us realize, but the hospital is, just so much better off for that department specifically.
Yeah. And I thought it was really interesting that they said, so when a child goes in for surgery, the parent has to leave. They cannot go in the OR. And I thought it was so sweet when they described that when the parent leaves, they will stay with the child and they'll blow bubbles and they'll play little games. They'll make them comfortable until they fall asleep and undergo anesthesia. And I thought that was so sweet. And also a lot of times they say when the child comes in with an emergency, the parents are very overwhelmed sometimes they're extremely emotional. They don't know how to communicate to the child what's going on. And that's when they step in and they calm the parents down and they explain to the child like what's going on. They're like a comforting factor in the hospital.
We talked a little bit about it. These people are, I guess I should say, we talked a little bit on the last show, was there a lot of times they're meeting these people, on what very well could be the worst day of their life, and they've, you don't want, if I'm in that situation, I don't want, a doctor or nurse taking time away from focusing on my child, and come to work, because I'm freaking out. I'd rather, take care of the child and let them come step over, and really help, like you said, explain some things, work with, explain what's happening. And then on top of it, to be able to go back, and after and then work with the children, and then to walk out of that room and then walk 12 feet down the hall and go into another room, and start it all over again. It seems like takes a unique person to be able to do that, on a regular basis.
They said like if a child's diagnosed with something extreme like cancer or so emotional, they can't calm themselves down to talk to their child, And I feel like they are just, like you said, the calming factor of the hospital, because almost everybody that goes in there is going through an emergency. Like my kid broke their leg, or, and a lot of times as parents, we just can't remove ourselves from being emotional. And that's help out.
So the dance has been, I think it's been now 4 years. Is it 4 or 5? This will be the 5th.
It's at least 5 for sure.
So it's been there. And so like everything else right now, it's not exactly the right thing to do to put large crowds of people in a room. It's kind of frowned upon these days. So you guys as a committee had to make a decision. Do we postpone? Do we skip? Or what do we do? But as we were talking about what Child Life Services is doing, it's not a matter of just do we skip the dance. It's like, if we do that, then that doesn't help, the Child Life Services. It doesn't help the hospital. So it's kind of like, that's not an option. And so
the hospital doesn't have the funds to give them. They work off of donation. Mm-hmm. Teddy said can't skip, kids still
not an option.
All right.
So it's okay. Go raise money, have a dance, but don't let people come together. Keep them separated, and find a way to pull it off was you guys' task as a committee, right?
Right.
So, Tara, how'd that work? What was that process like? I've talked to so many people, and I haven't talked to anybody who had their pandemic plan or, different things. Everybody's kind of had to pivot and come up with another way of doing things. What is the, if we really dive into it, what is the, it's go online, buy the box, but what is the box? What is in the box for these parents?
Right. So, coming together, it's been an amazing group of all these fabulous women, which we all have all these ideas. We've had to think outside the box with 2020. I think we've had thousands of Zoom calls together, trying to get everything planned and trying to make the best week or best box possible for these kids. But what it is it is a box. And I don't know if anybody subscribes to a subscription, but I get a quarterly subscription of a bunch of fun items that are specific for a mom. So it's kind of building off of that idea. So you buy a box, and included in this box is a week-long ideas and memories that you can make with your kids. There is going to be 6 to 8 items that are in the box specifically to a theme, whether it be an arts and crafts day or a treasure hunt day. There is a musical playlist in there that you can have a real dance party, and your son's going to get a little bow tie. And there is so many fun things in there. There's even Raising Cane's sponsored a activity day with the ice cream dance party and chicken fingers. I know GMFS Mortgage from Doug Bickley, they had done the treasure hunt day. There's just so many different things in there. And I know Stephanie will probably talk about her husband did all about the mom's day. So it's not just for the sons, although it's going to be super fun to go through all the activities with our boys. There's a little something in there for the moms too. But at the end of the day, this is all about the children, and it's all about raising money for a hospital. I think everybody would enjoy getting a box and opening it up to a week fun of surprises and fun. But at the end of the day, it's trying to figure out a way to raise money for this, crucial department inside the children's hospital for the children in our community.
That's amazing. I think we described it on the last one of the last shows. It was almost like Pinterest in a box. All the things that you want to do, that you say you're going to do, and you're pinning these things. And I'm going to do this with the kids one day, and you go back and it's like, I've never done any of these. I've just pinned. So now you can actually kind of get it all in one box, one place. And one of the things we were talking about was it's not just the box, I guess in my mind, yes, you're helping the hospital, but when we look back, it's going to be it's the kids playing with what's in the box, it's the taking the pictures to where you can look back, in 10 years, and say, that's what they look like. I'd much rather have pictures of my kids, playing on the floor, than staring at an iPad. They're on a screen, every time I turn around, it seems like. But then I've got, I was looking at some pictures the other day. They were actually playing Jenga the other day on the floor, and that looks more kid-like. And I think that's some of the stuff that sometimes we just don't have those activities and we don't have the time. And so you can kind of look at this as almost buying, not only helping the hospital, but kind of buying a little bit of a time capsule, to kind of hold on
and
to.
another thing is grandmas, aunts, they could buy it for family members, like you said, for Christmas, or just like you said, for Thanksgiving. If you have a bunch of people over and you get a couple boxes, they'll give the kids some activities to do. And the box does come for one mom and one son, but you can purchase an additional box for $50 if you have multiple boys,
I've got multiples. I got a set of twins that are.
You have twins? I do too.
Do you? How old are yours?
3. So
3?
This box is perfect for their age, like they'll be so excited. How old are yours?
My daughter is 12 going on 20, and my boys will be, they're 7 right now. They'll be 8 in December. And
Oh my gosh.
I'd like, it kind of gets easier, but it just gets different. That's all. That's all I can say.
I hope you say it gets easier. We're potty training too at 3.
I tell everybody I've got 3 kids, I'm done. But since I had my daughter first, and then when we had the 2, I could have been the Duggars. I could have done 20 if I had them one at a time, but having a set of twins it shut it down for me. So no more. And, I'm so tired of it. It's to this day, they look completely different, but it's still, I can't go walk into Costco or anywhere and somebody go, are they twins? It's like, no, we just found an extra one, and drug it in with us.
The best ever is they'd be like, I have the car seats on my arms, and I'm walking into a building, and they're like, "Are those twins?" And I'm like, "How else could I have 2 that are perfectly 6 months old?" Like, yes, they're both mine and they're twins.
No, what you do is, I got to the point when I was doing those things, people would say, are they twins? And they'd be like, no, they're triplets. I'm just mad at the other one. I left him in the car. And then they just look at you like you're crazy. So
my twins look nothing alike. One's got blonde hair and one's got brown curly fro. And they'll say, are they identical? And I'm like, they don't look identical, so they can't be identical.
Yeah, I have that same problem. So, Sarah, you're keeping quiet on the twins front.
Oh no, I don't have twins. I was like, y'all guys. No, but I wanted to chime in a little bit. We were talking about the kids and the grandmas. When we were building the boxes last week, it just kind of hit me like, this is not just for boys. The items that are in the box is so fun that if you don't have a son and you have daughters, it doesn't have to be for your son. It's typically the mother-son dance because that's what we do in person. But the fact that we're making this to go this year, the items that are in the box are for any gender. So, I mean, don't not participate if you think it's because you have daughters, because it's definitely the cutest stuff in there for sure.
Sarah, I wanted to ask you, you did build the box. Just moms, like if you had a daughter, isn't what's in there could be also used for your daughter? Like, didn't they have like a little mask and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's arts and crafts. It's a treasure hunt. It's a dance party. It's all about mom with the wine glass and a face mask. And, of course, you got to put your hand sanitizer and your, chapstick and things like that for a mom. But there's so many things in there that it's not just for a son. There's definitely, you could get it for your daughter or your niece or, like you said, Thanksgiving. That's a great idea, having people around the table. And they're trying to make it as easy as possible. So you can go online and order the box, but people are like, okay, where do I go from there? I mean, there's so many local boutiques that have stepped up, and there's Simply Chic, there's Victoria's Toy Station, Giggles, Capital Wellness Solutions. And if you're a team member at the lake, you can pick it up at the gift store at the lake. But I mean, you can drive up and pick up a box. I'll deliver it to your house if you want me to. I mean, we're trying to make it as simple as possible.
And the locations are all the way from Highland Road to Government. So wherever you live, there's a store that is around you.
Right.
Yeah, I think we talked on last show. There was stores everywhere. Not only that, but could also, they'll drop it in the mail to you, if you wanted to. So it's not an excuse at this point, that I wasn't able to go by and pick one up, or I didn't want to be able to get to the store. They're all over the place. And one of the things that we were talking about was, with Thanksgiving coming up, that it would be a great idea, grab some family. It's like I can mentally see it already because I've done it so many years where everybody gets together, they're all talking, they're all eating, and then all of a sudden all the kids are like off on a couch or they're huddled around. I can, depending on how old your kids are, I can guarantee you that they're going to be sitting there playing whatever it is, Among Us, for the whole Thanksgiving day. This is an opportunity to capture some of those moments with cousins and nieces and nephews and put them on a floor, and have them open a box, and go through and take some of those pictures that you can look back on. And so it's something to do, rather than just sit and eat and then go sit on a couch, with a phone. I think you're helping out a group that's desperately needs help. Obviously, we didn't even realize that, Child Life Services, they're not funded. They're funded by operations and things of this nature. So without this, it turns into a bad day. So
Right.
The other thing, I guess we haven't touched on, that is these boxes you guys are making these boxes as a committee, ordering this stuff. This isn't a on-demand Amazon fulfillment, type thing. This is, manually stuffing. So there is only so many boxes. So it's not a matter of like, when they're gone, they're gone. We'd love to we'll still take your donation if you'd like. But at the end of the day, if you want the box, you need to get moving at this point, right?
In a way, it's like the ticket sales. Every year they sell out, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
It's limited. So you got to kind of hurry up and get them, or else at some point you'll realize you just missed the boat.
Right. And I mean, to build on that, I mean, we all know everybody's got a different love language their children do, but I know my boys is quality time. So it's easy to give a gift and kind of like, okay, go play with your thing or go do whatever. But this is true, one-on-one quality time that you get to do with your kids. And that's what they love. I mean, let's be honest. They want to get on the ground and play with us and take pictures with us and dance with us and just kind of let your guard down and be silly with them, So, I mean, we've made it as easy as we could possibly think of. All you got to do is get on the link, buy the box, pick it up, we'll deliver it. It's really that simple.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about in the other show was, if you're not sure, if you don't know that your kids want to spend that time with you, we did a story not too long ago with the magazine. Sit on your couch, put your phone down, and just watch your child play and count how many times they look up at you. And then imagine that normally you're staring at a phone and you'll be shocked that, it's 20, 30 times, over the course of an hour, they'll look up, at you. And normally you're sitting there on a phone. This is something to do that, you can write one check, get a box of things to do. And what you'll realize is it's fun to get down on the floor and play, and they enjoy it. And that it's better than just staring, kind of at the screen or letting them run around while you're doing something else. They look forward to it. And I guarantee you they'll be asking for, well, what are we doing next? And we're probably starting a problem, where it's going to be, you're going to end up having to have a monthly box. That's what you're going to end up having to do, more than
Which would
likely.
be a great problem, right? And
I think
so
it's
speaking
so
of boxes, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, I think it's gonna be so fun, especially if, like with Amazon, we're always getting stuff for ourselves as adults. It's like there's finally a box for the kids. And I'm always surprised by my 10-year-old son, who I always think is too old for this kind of stuff. But then it always surprises me how he's like the number one interested in it. Like I bought my twins this little, like almost like the treasure hunt or whatever. Take a card and you paint it. My son sat there for an hour and did it, but it was actually for my 3-year-olds. So I don't want anybody to think like your 10, 11, or 12-year-old is too old for the box, because they're not. It's probably the perfect age for them to delve into some little arts and crafts or some play stuff.
Absolutely. I agree with that completely.
No, I think it's like you said, we get stuff from Amazon, it's like, let them have a box, like, hey, this is yours. They get excited, see how, make a game out of it. How long can you wait, until you actually open it and see if they can, make it. I know my kids, before they could even read, we would just get the mail and we would hand them the junk mail and say, you got mail. And they would just be ecstatic over the moon that they got something. So, this could be another one of those. And like I said, it's got things to do all day.
Yeah. So the biggest question I've gotten lately from people is, what is the differences in the box? So if you get on the link, I kind of want to touch on that. There's the standard box, which is $100. And that includes 4 to 6 items for each theme, your dance playlist, the project ideas, daily recipes, and a fun, entertaining booklet. And if you buy that box, you get put in the raffle to win some of the amazing prizes that we've collected from local businesses around town. But the VIP box is $150. And you get everything that comes with the standard box, but there's a few extra items in there. And one of the cutest things is the shirt. So the mom has a shirt that says Rule Maker, and then the boys have a shirt that says Rule Breaker. So it's kind of like a matching shirt you can wear together, throughout the week. You can add on extra, like Stephanie was saying, you can add on an extra sibling box if you want, which comes with that. Or you can add on an extra shirt if you need to, if you're a mama with multiple boys as well. But that's the differences there's just more in the VIP box with the shirts, but the main options is the standard and the VIP. And then you can do the sibling box. You can gift the box to somebody. There's even cute little yard signs, little face masks. Can't have enough face masks in 2020 for sure.
I think I've got a pile of them every morning. They all disappear when it's time to get in the car. I was going to say, with doing, this and doing the different activities, it's like we said, we've only got so many, boxes, and this is going to become the next piece, I think, where from the momentum that I've seen, and what I think we're going to start seeing is you're going to start seeing everybody's kind of social media reel, of here's the activities, here's what we did, and that's the second half of this, where it kind of, in hopes, kind of moves viral. So I bring it up as a point to, kind of rush everybody, get your box now before you can't get a box and people are wondering why you didn't get a box. So,
yeah. Stephanie touched on it every year. Every year we say the mother-son dance is going to sell out, and every year it sells out. And the day or the day before the event, moms are texting like crazy, asking if they could get tickets, but there's none because there's a limit, but it happens every single year. So it's going to be the same with these boxes. They're going to sell out. And when you start seeing everybody blowing up their news feed with all the fun activities they're doing, you're going to have a little sad moment.
Yeah. So boxes are on sale now. They can go online. Mm-hmm. You can order online. You can pay. You can go pick up. We can mail it to you. We can drop it off to you. Anything and everything, places from Highland all the way to downtown. So it's on the way to wherever you're going, so nobody really has an excuse, at this point. What, anything else, that we're missing? What's we've got some inventory now, and we've been on sale for about a week now. And so it's probably time to get, moving, obviously, onto this. Anything that we're missing? Anything?
I mean, the only thing I would add is if some people don't know what that link is and they're listening, it's ololchildrens.org/mother son dance. But you could probably just Google mother son dance Children's Hospital and the link is going to come up. But it's very simple. I actually got online this morning. I've been so busy. I ordered mine this morning and I did the VIP box because I wanted the cute t-shirts. And it took me 30 seconds to check out start to finish. So it was very simple.
That's good to hear. Super easy. What do
Maybe
you think?
one more thing. If you don't want a box and you just want to donate, there's also a way to just flat out donate to the Children's Hospital. Do you have that link, Sarah? Just in case anybody's like, I just want to donate and just help out, you know?
I have it on my Facebook page that I have the link. I'm sure it's something ololchildrens.org. If you do the /mother son dance, just like to buy a box, I'm sure there's a direct donation link as well.
Yeah. And just in case anybody does want to just donate.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I know I listed a bunch of boutiques that you could pick up your box locally. There's a lot of us on the committee that were joking around last week. We will personally deliver it to your door if that's a hiccup in the process. I know there's a bunch of people in our neighborhood that are buying them. So we're just going to do a neighborhood pickup for anybody that wants to, meet. We can just bring it to their house in the neighborhood. So whatever makes it easy, we're just trying to sell these boxes. It's going to be a week-long fun with your son or sons and also raise money for an amazing, department in the Children's Hospital with Child Life Services.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. It's a lot of work, like we talked about. It's not just, you guys are selling a box and having somebody else put it together for you. There's a lot of moving parts from coming up with the ideas to stuffing the boxes, packing the boxes, delivering the boxes, putting everything together. So I appreciate all the work that you guys have done and love to hear more about it as it goes along. But I think I think we've kind of driven the point home that everybody needs to kind of get out there now, get your box before, it's gone. And so
get your box.
So that's going to be our tag. Just get a box. Did you get your box? Did you get your box? And so.
That's right. Well, thank you.
Well, guys, I
for
appreciate you coming on here, and filling us in and telling us what happens.
having
I think this was informative. I think it's extremely important that you guys are helping out. I think it's extremely important what Child Life Services is doing. And without this, they're not going to be able to continue. So it's time for everybody to kind of step up, for those who can help. And if you don't have any kids and you just want to donate, that's, an option there. Or maybe buy a couple boxes and give them to the neighbors' kids. So.
Yep. I love that.
Awesome. Well, look, you guys are giving me plenty of time. I know there's more important places to be and people to talk to, so I appreciate it. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you,
Thank you
Brandon.
so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.